All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Connect. This is our short-term rental walkthrough. Walkthrough is where we showcase an investor doing a transaction. You get all the inside stuff, the stuff that you don't see in a 15-minute show on Home or Lifetime. You'll get this is the real deal, real investors doing real deals. I'm joined by my illustrious panel, Big J and Jerry. How you guys feeling tonight? I'm super excited about this one.
Good, good, bro. I'm definitely excited, man. I met Lorraine years ago, and just to see this coming to fruition, man, it's awesome. So,
That's right. First time. First time. First time for everything. Jay, anything you want to say any powerful words to the people?
those are powerful words. Yeah.
All right. We got Big Chin as well in the background. All right, let's get this day started. I want to bring out our investor tonight, Lorraine. Like you said, first time investor, Lorraine. From where are you from? Tell them everything about you, Lorraine. Our illustrious new investor, first timer.
Hey, everybody. Um, my name is Lorraine Jordan. I'm from Chicago. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today to go over this property. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your day to be here with me. A little bit about myself. Oh, now I can see myself. Okay, thank you. Um, a little bit about me. I've been married for about 28 years. I have two beautiful daughters that I truly adore. I have a new G puppy that has stolen my heart. Um, I've been in corporate America for most of my career. And for the last 32 years, I've been with one company, Motorola Solutions, which, I find hard to believe these days, someone being with a company that long, but I have. It's not something that I wanted or expected to do, but time flies, and next thing you know, it's 32 years later. Um, I've worked in different roles throughout my career. I started out in customer service. I've done inside sales, administrative work. I'm currently in sales operations. I always knew that I wanted to do um, real estate, be in business for myself, and call my own shots one day. It's just been a passion of mine, and I needed to find a way of making some passive income, and I knew that real estate was it. Um, I know my husband had been going through some health challenges, and we were struggling, living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm,
Um, I mean, we almost, lost our home at one point, but investing in real estate is something that I've always wanted to do. I even gotten my real estate license many years ago, thinking that it would show me how to invest. But it was more about laws and fair housing and things like that. So it just wasn't what I expected. But you do learn things from that as well. I looked into a lot of different programs and spent a lot of money um, looking for ways to learn this business. I always felt that something was missing, though. I was getting, I wasn't getting the whole picture. And, I was always wanting more. And in order to get more, they wanted you to pay more money, which I didn't have at the time. It took me a while to get to this place where I felt comfortable doing my first deal. Because the last thing I wanted to do was, put my family in more financial trouble. But I kept taking steps, no matter how small. I kept moving forward, and I wasn't going to stop until it happened.
mm.
So it's been a long journey for me, but prayer, patience, and determination has got me to this point. And I'm just so grateful to be part of this community. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow, your story. Oh man, this I got verklempt. I got a little emotional because that's that's a story that everybody has. You're trying to do it and everything, but you didn't let nothing detract you, deter you. You kept going, and all I heard in
Kept
that was
going.
determination. and determination
Yes.
to see you culminate with this, and it's a doozy. Is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Follow Lorraine. She doesn't really do the social media thing, but she's on Facebook. You can follow her. She's a real person. And that's kind of what I want this to really let this shine with you guys who are on the line, everybody who's aspiring. Put an H if you're aspiring real estate investor, because this could be your story. You don't have to, it doesn't have to end there, right? Amazing, amazing story. Thank you, Lorraine, for sharing that. Now, I'm
No
going to do a
problem.
little disclaimer, and we're going to get into the weeds, get into this deal. I love it. So, this example shows a result that was achieved by applying real estate investing education and seeking guidance and support, but is not representation of a typical outcome. Individual results may vary and depend upon various and many different factors. Each real estate investment result is unique with the real estate itself. And with that being said, Rain, tell us about this deal. How'd you find this deal and what happened? And we probably could bring up the man who actually was around, but tell us how you found this thing.
Well, this was an opportunity that Chin had presented to me, and Chin is awesome. Couldn't have done this without him, and he's always good for sharing his information and leads and getting it out there to the people. And I looked at this and I ran the numbers and I mean I loved the property. I loved where it was and I was just I was just excited about it. This is a duplex. It's a two different units. One is a 4 bed, 3 bath, and the other one is a 5 bed, 2.5 bath.
Wow. From none to two, two big ones. Okay. Nice. So
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
so
And
how
when
did
you
he
look at
present it
it
to
though,
you?
I'm
You
sorry,
wait,
go
I
ahead.
know. So how did he present it to you? How did you just come across it? Like you was like, were you
Well,
scared? How did you feel? What was your emotions like?
oh my God, of course I was scared. Of course I was. Of course, because this was, I had been looking at, 2 bed, 2 bath units and things like that. And when this came along, I'm like, and I asked, I'm like, well, do I have to get both? I'm like, can I just get one? And it's like, no, it was a package deal, and we couldn't split it up, unfortunately,
Mm,
because it was just kind of considered one unit. And if you look on that this picture on the right side, you can
mm.
see on the other side of the porch that the other unit is kind of backs into it. Yeah, right
Yeah.
there. It kind of backs into it. So it's sort of like they're connected in a way, but they're two individual units.
Wow. Okay, let's take a little walk. Let's take a look. And again, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm just floored by this. And Chen, what made you? I don't know if Chen can talk. What made you? Was she the first person you thought of, or you we talk about that later? I'm not sure if I'm jumping the gun, but
Nah, I can
hey,
answer that now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been working with Lorraine on other leads before this one, right?
hmm
So I can already tell because we've looked at like two, three leads, she was understanding the process better on each lead. So,
hmm
you want to work with people who can grasp things quicker. So just speaking to Lorraine, I knew that, if she got an opportunity that she can execute on, that she would be ready for it, just based on, our previous interactions.
Wow. Great. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Let me go back. Wait, I wanted
Now,
to see
did
the.
you just send this to Lorraine by herself?
Nah, I put it out to the public, just like with every deal. I put it out to the public, and of course she jumped on it first. A few other people reached out, but Lorraine saw it through the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play favorites, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I looked at it and I was ready at that point.
Wow. So this is the unit. Mm.
This is the 5 bed unit here that we're looking at. And it was a nice layout. I just like the way you had plenty of space to, move around, especially when you have a 5 bed. You want to have enough space for everybody, not cramped up. So it was spacious. It had all the amenities that I was looking for, and I really I love the layout of it. And it has 3 floors, so it's huge. We'll see that in a moment, but it has 3 floors. So, I kind of make a note to let people know if you have issues with stairs, that maybe this one is not for you. But it's really nice. I really like the way they decorated it. I like the way it was laid out. And it's enough room for everybody, to kind of get around and enjoy it. And this is my cleaner. She's kind of walking through the process with me. So she's just kind of showing you everything right now. So this is the first level. And then now she's going to take you down to the basement where there's extra space down there. So you can play cards and things like that. And I thought about this and I was like, well, if my family, I would pick something like this because my family is a huge card player. We play, we play big, we play all type of cards. So I was like, oh yeah, this would be great for families to kind of just come and hang out. They had an air hockey table. I don't know if you saw that down there too as well. So, so now we're going upstairs to the bedroom levels. And then I like the way they kind of decorated it here. It was just spacious rooms, nice windows. It was just a lot of space for everyone to spread out. And this is one of the queen beds. Leave. And then we move over here to one of the other rooms where they always had a nice little accent wall on most of the bedrooms, which I like too. Something that, I may not have thought of, but they kind of, put it up nicely, and I like the space. And then in the washer and dryer, of course, so that, guests can clean. And then this is the other room here. Now this is a unique, I probably wouldn't have gone with the black walls, but it works. It works. And then one of the other full bathrooms we have here on this level. And then there's another full bath on the next level. So each level had its own bathroom that guests could use. Plenty of towels. We'll give everything that they need.
How many times have you been to this property, Lorraine?
I haven't been yet. I'm gonna go soon
What?
though. I have not been yet. I'm gonna go soon. I'm scheduling it really soon. Yeah. And just try to check out both sides. And then this is one of the other rooms.
Interesting. With all canopies. Nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you move forward with doing the two properties next to each other without ever even going to see them? Like, how did you feel about that?
Um, it was a little nerve-wracking, but what I did was I acquired this from another host. So I was able to see the listing itself on Airbnb and everything, and just kind of see what kind of reviews it was getting and things like that. And
Yeah, we could do that right now. Mm.
yeah, oh yeah. So just knowing that he was already doing well with the property, it just made me feel a little bit more comfortable about
Mm.
So all of that, and you still felt okay without seeing.
it. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Let's see the 4 bedroom. So this is the 4 bedroom, right? Let's check
Yes, this is the 4 bed. On the other side, again, nice and spacious. This one had a big. This is the entryway here when they come in. And then you go up the stairs to the bedrooms. So this one again is a
Wow.
4 bed, 2.5 bath unit, fully furnished, and all I had to do was just plug and play. Whatever he was doing, I was going to try to copy that and and keep it moving. So I didn't have to do much at all, really, but just kind of update the listings and do all the changes that we needed to do to switch it over to me.
They did a nice job decorating. I see what you mean. I like it.
They really did. They really did. And I appreciate that because I'm not the one to the best on the decorating side, so I kind of appreciated that. I would have had to hire someone to help me with that, especially in a space this large, because you
Yeah,
want to make sure that it's laid out comfortably. There's plenty of seating and things like that.
nice,
And then
nice.
this is the kitchen. It's open, nice and open, and have all the amenities that they would need in there as well. So this one, of course, is a little older, I guess, but it's still nice and it's clean and it's spacious.
Yeah, a lot of cabin space. Nice.
hmm a lot of space for people to move around, and it's open to the
Hmm.
dining room, which is nice. And so it gives it a nice open feel.
Yeah, people will love that.
Mhm. Yep, so I liked it. So it was sort of a no-brainer for me, you know, to move forward with it because it had everything that I was looking for. Um, it was open, it was clean, it was in a decent area, and the numbers work.
Yeah, very nice. Well lit, well decorated.
So,
Again,
so I wanted to ask, is that like the strategy in which like you ain't put this short-term rental together in the sense of brand new, like finding an apartment, then furnishing it. It's almost like Chin strategy is to find a short-term rental that's already together, and then you just like taking it over. Is that kind of like the niche thing that's going on? So
Yeah,
okay.
this is yeah, that's what happened with this particular one. Yeah, this was already being operated by a host, so I was just busy. I basically just bought his business. I just took over what he had and whatever listings that he had out there, I took over. He already had some bookings on the books that I acquired as well, and we were just able to move forward. So he initially signed a lease with the landlord, and for some reason he wanted to move on to something else. So he spoke with the landlord, and it allowed them to resublet it to me. Um, and so he was open to that. So as long as he was able to get his money, he probably didn't care. So I'm subletting from the host right now, and then I'll work with the landlord a little bit later, and then try to acquire it for myself once he's totally out.
So I'm sorry, but how did you learn how to like do the numbers to figure out does this make sense? Where did you how like what was that experience like?
Oh shoot, that was from Chin's Summit. Yeah, that's for sure how to run those numbers because that was one of the things I was really nervous about, making sure that it made sense. Like I said, I was, always hesitant about moving forward. Only, I didn't want to make sure that I got into a good deal that made sense, and so this one did. And we ran those numbers, and I was really conservative with numbers, because looking at the other comps in the area, it was, his was one of the top listings. Actually, he was the comp, and the
mm,
other ones behind it, I kind of went with those, and it still made sense. So that's what I went with.
wow. Hey, did a nice job. You got a nice unit. This is good.
Hmm.
Hey, basically, you got the plug and play. That was it. Right? Okay. Plug
Yeah.
and play. Let's get back to the numbers here. So she's got three listings. Explain why there's three listings. I don't know if they understand why you got three listings here.
So what we did was there's the duplex, right? So we have the 4 and the 5 bed, and we also offer the option of getting them both units, the 9-bay unit.
Wow.
And surprisingly enough, a lot of people gravitate toward that, especially, when you're hosting family reunions. And I had graduations that passed in May, and weddings and all of that. They really appreciated having both sides and to be able to fit their whole family in the one unit and be together. So that kind of worked out really well. So instead of it really being two, it was a three unit. I consider it as a three listing.
Nice. So let's talk a little about that knowledge. You talked about that knowledge earlier. So we're going to point to, you talked about this, talked about the summit. You
Yes.
said this was it. It gave you the confidence to pull the trigger, huh?
It really did. Um, I had been looking for you know, educational programs for a long time. And when I found this educational unit and this community, I knew I was in the right place at that point. It was comprehensive, and it gave me the groundwork I needed to move forward. Some of the things that I really appreciated was when we look at how to shrink the competition, how to analyze the deal.
Mhm.
And I know when we were going over the analyzing the deal, that was one of the things that I was just like, whoo, I know. I was like, okay, Chin, I got to make sure I get this right. I need to understand these numbers, right? Because, you know, uh, in order to, be able to move forward and make sure I was doing it correctly and make sure I was accounting for all the expenses and everything like that. Um, and of course, how to what you should pay for the unit was awesome as well. Looking at those numbers and things like that. And of course, raising the funds. Everything about it was great. I mean, Chin had held maybe two more workshops before then, and I was at every one. I was at every one, and but the summit kind of wrapped it up really nice in a nice bow, and gave me the information that I needed to go for.
Wow. Wow, nice. So again, this is the community as well. And the summit, the community is STR Nation. The summit is housed and We Connect. And this is our calendar that you can check out to see our events, our trainings. So we have available to people who will really support you in every step of the way to give people like Lorraine that confidence to take that deal because we're there with you in the trenches, especially Chin and STR Nation, right? So he has these short-term rental nation weekly calls. Those calls are, no, somebody else was shoot their video. Those calls are Thursday nights. Those are tomorrow night. And again, Chen Stakes, those are the time where you can go straightly into short-term rentals, goes to deeper to analysis, the general Q&A. You can actually bring your lead there. Listing review. We do a listing review last week. We're kind of going through and making sure everybody's have their listings optimized and general Q&A. And it's just amazing. Chen, anything you want to Chen want to say anything about that? But somebody's asking to start their video. I don't know who that is. Was that you? I don't
Nah,
know.
no questions, no comments on this one right now. I know everybody wants to see the numbers, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Let's get to the questions for sure, for sure. Let's get to the questions. So, put your at our events, we like to have people put their investor hats on, and we want you to put yourself. You're seeing the unit. You don't know the numbers yet. What questions should we ask them, Jay and Jerry? What should we ask them that investors would be curious about from the questions in the chat or just off the top? What questions do people have? Oh, you now off mute again? I'm just saying, I got to put you back on.
Yeah, what's the profit? I'm curious what people thinks the profit. Like what is her take home every month on these units?
Yeah, that's definitely the first question I was saying. You bought a business? Well, okay. How does that look? What does that look like?
Yeah. Jason, I think you're good now.
Yeah, was your camera was off, not.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I
I
mean, what question we're gonna ask? How much she made? How much the units cost? What questions should we ask the community, the guests?
Yes. So what's the question?
Well, we usually have a question we give the guests so they put their investor hat on. What kind of cash flow would they expect to get from this? How much would it cost to acquire something like this? What questions should we ask them? What do you think?
What do you guys think she's making? Type it
Okay.
in the chat. How much y'all think she's making a month?
What is her cash flow? That's after expenses.
So
That
yeah,
is
somebody
after.
will want to know how do we make money off of this, right? So
Yep.
that's the question at hand. So what do y'all think? How much do you think she's making as her monthly cash flow after all her expenses is paid? How much money do y'all think she's bringing in every month off of these units? That's the question. So y'all saw the property, right? The house is in Cleveland, Ohio. It's
Yes.
one's a 4 bedroom, another's a 5 bedroom, right? What do you think her cash flow is? Throw it in the chat.
We got a 14 for both units.
And then we're gonna break it down and show y'all, figure out who came the closest. We're gonna show you the numbers and everything on this thing.
Okay,
So,
we got 1200 is the low. Okay, the lowest, 1200 from Michaela.
and if someone has other questions, throw them in the chat. We will definitely answer all of your questions. So we got
Okay,
15,
2000.
1200. So 1200. And everybody's saying that's the total, right? Between the two? I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming that's everyone's number, right? That's not each. Michaela says, so when you say 1200 from both, you're saying combined or is it 1200 just to be clear? Yes, this is passive income. Absolutely.
Combined. She said 1200 combined.
Okay. So some people are
1800,
saying 2 grand,
2000. Okay, 2 grand is about the highest.
1700. How would you increase the bookings per month on the units? Great question. We're going to answer that question in a minute.
Okay.
All
So
right.
we got the ranges. Okay, Trevor came back. He says 6,500 total combined. All right,
Felicia says
Trevor.
3 grand. Yeah, just want to be clear what people think. So Keith Lawrence says 2,000 per. So he's saying total of 4,000 a month.
Oh, we
All
got
right.
6,500
I'll take a 6,500 a month.
for sure. So would I.
For sure. For
So would
sure.
I. So
Now,
would
does
I.
everybody fully understand the strategy that's happening here? Did y'all, was that fully explained? I guess people in the chat, let us know. Do y'all totally understand the strategy? Or I'll figure out, does she own this property herself? If you think she does, throw a Y in the chat. If you don't think she owns it, throw an N in the chat.
Okay, so they're following, I think.
Well, those are all team members. That's why
Mm,
they, they
that
understand.
is true.
They know.
No, the team members are about the guests,
The
Jeremiah.
guests, do the guests understand? Because this strategy is a little higher level. Right, and definitely
Okay,
had
there
to be
you
the
go.
Airbnb. There we go. Who said that? That infamous word arbitrage. Trevor. Okay, so he understands. Yes. Okay, cool. Because I'm pretty sure there's some people who don't understand what strategy is happening here, right? So what she's doing as a landlord, so somebody owns the 2 units, and what she's doing is she's basically a tenant. She's renting the place from whoever the landlord is who owns it, and then what she's doing is subleasing, or AKA arbitrage. So she's subleasing it on platforms like Airbnb. You use Verbo, Furnish Finders, whatever the site is. You find people looking for housing, so you sublease to them. So she's kind of the middle person in between all of this. All right. Not sub two.
Yeah,
Sub
that's.
two is a totally different strategy. Sublease.
And if you're confused, if you're not clear, put a C. It's okay. We can maybe click it clearer later. Again, the goal is to go away understanding a little better, getting a better grasp of what's going on.
Sublease.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So I just want to make sure everybody's clear on what's happening here, so nobody's lost. Everyone's there. All right. So what do you think that what do you think her rent is? What do you think she's paying the landlord?
Okay, what is her rent? For both?
Sure.
Okay, where's the rent for both
Well, I
units?
would say make it easy. Just what's the total? What's the total she's paying?
Okay,
So someone don't got to put two numbers, or whatever.
okay.
Just what do you
Where's the
think the
total
total
rent?
is? What's the total rent she's paying for both? For the 4 unit and the 4 bedroom and 5 bedroom. How much you think in total she's paying
Okay, just at
for rent,
5K
please?
out the gate, Jessica.
5 grand, 3
3,000.
grand rent for both.
Okay. 1,900. Wow.
1900.
I would love that, Trevor, for both.
And he said it's a $6,500 cash flow. No wonder he thinks he's
I'll
with
take me
19.
at 1900 for two.
I'll take that. Listen, chin,
That's
I just jump
nice.
all over that 1,900
All day
For
long.
all day long. Twice on Sunday. Let
for a
me see.
fully furnished
19.
4 bedroom property and then a 5 bedroom. Yeah, that's nice. That's a sweet deal.
That's a sweetheart deal. So I think 1,900 is the lowest, and
But he
was it
changed it. Now he
5,000?
said 2,900.
Okay.
Come on, Trev. Stop cheating.
6,000.
So I think
I think
6 grand was the
6,000.
highest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we're going to show y'all all the numbers
Got some
very
interesting
shortly.
ranges. Okay.
All right, 3,500. All right, y'all can pick the last one. What you want? One more, one more.
I'm trying to
Then
think.
we'll show them the numbers.
We said cash flow rent. I don't know.
How long is her lease?
I was gonna
Oh,
say how
good
much it
question.
cost. I was gonna say how much it costs to furnish it. But yeah, you can do the lease.
Yeah, how long is her lease? Yeah, how long is her lease?
The
Interesting.
lease is for a year
Oh,
Oh,
right
she just
just
told
now.
gave
us.
the she just told
She
the
just gave
answer.
it.
Oh,
She just told the
sorry.
answer. All
I ain't even
righty.
get to write. I ain't even
Sorry.
get to write it.
Right. All righty.
Oh,
All
sorry.
righty. All right. So the
We'll
next
just skip
question.
that question. That was an easy question anyway. That was an easy question anyway. Okay, let's move on.
Next question. All right. So it's my question, right? How much did it cost her to furnish those
Okay.
properties? How much did it cost her to furnish them? How much you think? Combined. So in total, how much did it cost her to furnish both of the units? How much y'all think it costs? Jessica says 20K. We got some zeros. So we got two
20K.
zeros. Then we got 20K. And then a bunch
Mm,
of zeros.
interesting.
Trinity, on average, how much did it cost? Would you think it would cost to furnish a four bedroom or 5 bedroom? Just
Oof.
off top.
About 20K.
20K. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. All right.
All right. So those
All
are the
right.
answers. So gotta remember those. Cash flow is 1,200 to 6,500. Total rent is 1,900, which would be a sweetheart deal, to 6,000. And how much cost of furnace is zero to 20,000. Interesting. All right, so let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
So here's the numbers. For anyone answering, how do you make money off of this thing? What's in it for me? That's what everybody want to know,
Ooh,
right? Where the money at?
where the money at? Skip all the crap. Where the money
That-
at?
Where the
that's,
money?
that's, that's
Here you
all
go,
we
y'all.
really care about. This
All
is
right.
what
So
we
it's
all care about. Woohoo! Yes. So these are the numbers here. So um, for each unit is probably about 22 grand each. There was zero in the decor because they were listening. It came already furnished, so I did not have to pay for furniture. Um, thank God for
congrats for
that.
those who were listening. Congrats. They
Yes,
was listening.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't
they,
want to
they were
say
listening.
nothing.
That was a trick
I
question.
know.
I was seeing
Yeah,
who's paying attention.
right. And so looking at the monthly expenses, and this is for all of the units combined. So because it's considered the one unit, the duplex itself. So when we look at the 4 bed, the 5 bed, and the 9 bed together, this is what we're looking at. So the rent on this is $5,300. Um, the acquisition fee Kind of broke this down into 12 months. What it cost me, it would be about $3,700 a month. The utilities and the internet run us between about 700, 800, depends. It varies, it goes up and down. The maintenance and operations, which includes the cleaners and all of the other stuff that the platforms and ops, all the things that we need, the hospitables and all of that other stuff, runs me about $3,500 a month, which brings me to my total expenses of about $13,200. And so the average monthly revenue is about 17.5 right now, which leaves me with an estimated cash flow of about $4,300. And
Somebody
that's just
came real
looking at,
close to that number, that four. Someone
Yeah,
said four
somebody.
grand. I don't know, I don't remember who that
yeah,
was, but congratulations, who that was.
Yeah.
Congrats. And someone came close. I think it was
yes,
Jeremiah was close with the rank. I think he said like 5,500. And actually a couple of people said about. Someone said 5 grand, I think too. So,
Yeah.
congrats for those who was real close to it. Y'all were right there. Now, here's where it gets sweeter, y'all. Y'all think that looks nice, right? Check this out. After year one, here you go. Break this down now, Lorraine.
well, once I pay that off in the 12 months, and it may be a year, maybe a year and a half, if I have to adjust. But we're looking at the rent still being $5,300 a month. My utilities, the acquisition fee will be paid in full. And I just put that on a 0% interest rate card, and that's where the 3,700 comes from. And the utilities and internet, looking at $700 still. Maintenance and operations about the same. So now it drops my expenses to about $9,500 a month, with the revenue about the same. And this is just looking at 2 months so far. 17.5 now would give me a monthly cash flow of about $8,000.
That's crazy. And
Nobody said 8.
yeah,
Nobody.
Nobody
that's
said, hey,
crazy.
8K. Who could deal put up with that 8 if you could put a deal with 8K a month from another state and you ain't even seen it in live in person? I love that part. I'm not even there and it's just coming in, hitting my accounts. Sign me up, right? Who said sign me up? Sign me up, Lorraine.
sign me up, sign
Sign
me up.
me up. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why we
yes, for
love this
real.
strategy. That's why.
And
Woo,
Now,
let that
I'm
sink
maybe
in
still,
for
some
a
of these
so,
numbers can go
so,
down,
so,
right? Because if
oh
the
yeah, sure.
maintenance operations, I know one of your biggest fees is probably the cleaning expense was probably like,
Yes.
over 2 grand a month. But if you think about it, over time you find better cleaners, you might be able to negotiate, get that number lower. You always negotiate to get lower numbers, right? Maybe you could
hmm
get an extension on the lease. Maybe he'll go a little lower on that number, right? So, and I'm pretty sure once you're, moving along after a year, you'll probably know how to increase revenue. So that's probably on the low side, right? So that should probably go up for you as well. So I think as you progress with this strategy, like you should be doing some crazy numbers a month. So I think this is amazing.
Hold
Congrats to
on.
you.
So my question is, this is a deal that Chin put inside the chat, and why you ain't telling me it was $8,000 to be made, bro? I would have got it. I would have been like me, right?
Oh, we got something better, something else to show you guys. Check this out. Just a
Yes,
little,
this is
just a little
yeah,
something.
yes, one of my bookings that's coming up pretty soon. I think yeah, in July. It's coming up. Um and yeah, so this is gonna be a nice payday just for the one stay.
Nice. So again, these are real receipts, real things. That's why I said, woo. That's what I said. Congratulations, Lorraine. Listen, you did it. You put it out there. You took that risk, right?
Yes.
An educated risk. You did it and you got it. Again, follow Lorraine, right? This is your time for Q&As. Follow Lorraine on she's a real person, real individual. Her story is so powerful. My bartender, sorry, Jason at Bar Raiser. You got Jerry, you got myself. Let's get to the Q&A. And Chin, of course, is always here, always in the building, relationship rich. What questions do you guys have for her? Let's go. I'm gonna open it up. You guys can ask your questions in the chat.
All
This is
right.
exciting.
I'm gonna set it off, right? Unless, well, I know Jerry. Matter of fact, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Jerry.
yeah. Let
He's
me hear it
actually he's
again,
jumping out of
man.
his seat to ask a question. Go ahead, Jerry. Literally jumping out of his seat over there.
Yo, yeah, I was about to say,
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna
brother.
ask you, Lorraine, like, um, throughout this journey, what is your biggest epiphany moment that you were scared of that now you look at like, you know, I can't believe that that was a hurdle, right? What was that for you?
Well, for me, it was, I always felt like I didn't understand the whole process. And so once I got the process down and realized what I needed to do, how I needed to do it, how I needed to run those numbers to make sure, because that was key for me, just making sure that I ran those numbers right, that I was looking at all the right things. And I felt more comfortable at this point. And then plus I was taking the steps that I needed. I was getting my personal business, my personal credit in order. And then after that, I was getting my business credit in order. Eric helped me set up my Dun and Bradstreet's, all this other stuff that I was doing. And I was constantly moving. So when this opportunity came, I was in a position to move because I had the cash that I needed and I had the knowledge that I needed. And it took some of that fear away from me.
Got it. Thank you. That and I talk about that all the time, y'all. Being ready when the situation comes, right? So all you always getting ready. So thank you for that, Lorraine.
Oh, you welcome.
All right. No, I'm not gonna ask my question. I'll open it up for everyone else. I'll save mine in case a little later on. So I'm gonna scroll up. If anyone has questions, I will call some of you to come on off of mute, especially if you got your camera on. You could definitely assure I'm calling on you if your camera's on. So, um, I'm scrolling up and I'm gonna start with the first. Okay, so Mike, we just showed you how you can make money off of this. So let me know if that answers your question. If you need more clarification, just throw something back into the chat again, and we'll maybe break it down a little bit further for you if you need some more information. All right. So how she's making money from it is literally subleasing it out to people on these platforms. All right. Let's see. I'm scrolling down. So okay, so hold on, here we go. Okay, no, Jessica said, do you pay for furniture? We just answered that. So Keelan says, what's the total profit margin? Well, we just showed you what that was. Peter asks an interesting question. What is the monthly occupancy percentage? And I really probably want my man Chinadu to answer this one. But yeah, that's what Peter wants to know. What is the monthly occupancy percentage?
And I meant to have that number ready for you, but to be honest, we were just looking at um that when we were trying to put this together, and just looking at June, I was pretty much booked out. I only had like a maybe 5 days open for this month. And it's so funny because someone had booked that one of those days, even after we spoke last week. So I did not pull that exact number, and I meant to grab that before I got on this call, but it's been doing very well. At least 80% of the time it's booked. Every week I have someone in there, at least. So whether it's a day, but luckily this month, well, especially this week, someone has been in there at least 4 or 5 days. So it's been doing very, very, very well so far.
Well, I don't know if Chen is busy to say it, but this is something that Chen always says. It does that occupancy rate doesn't matter if you're pricing
Hmm.
at the right level, right? Your
Yes.
occupancy can be 50%, but if you're pricing it right, you can still cash flow way more than somebody else. So it's about pricing model. So a lot of those matrix are not really as relevant as people think. Don't get caught up in those in the weeds of the average daily, all that stuff like that. RevPAR is more important. Anyway,
Yeah,
my two
that's an
cents.
important thing to add because yeah, it really that's what's the we learned in the summit and things of that nature, right? Occupancy percentage, you really don't think about that. You don't really worry about that when you know how to price it properly. So,
Hmm.
um, okay, Peter's got another question. He says, "How would you increase the bookings per month on the units?" And a lot of people want to know
Well,
this one. Yeah.
right now I'm only on Airbnb. I just posted my listings on Verbo, and then I'm working on getting it on Booking.com. So, so I'm starting to get some things in from Verbo right now. I'm also adding the trip insurance, things like that that Chin showed us how to do. Little extra ways that you can
Mhm.
gain some extra income. So those are some of the things that I have in place right now that I'm trying to do. And so once I get fully on all the platforms, hopefully it'll even get better.
Yeah, and that summit, I'll just add on. I don't know if Chin's busy. And that summit, he shows you a lot of different ways that you can add to your revenue, different ways. So as far as like she was saying, insurance, claims, different ways you can increase your bottom line.
Yeah, early and late checkouts, all that.
Yes, upsells for sure.
Upside. Okay. Shamira. Oh, and you got your camera on. Let's go. Ask your question because I'm not sure. I might have missed it. You said something about an ADR. If you could ask your question that you were going to ask. I'm not sure what
You
it
can
is.
unmute yourself, Shamira, on the bottom mic. I think there's a microphone on the bottom. You see it.
I just something should have popped up on your screen. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, I was asking about the daily rate. Well, I think maybe she said that. Maybe I missed it. I'm so sorry. I'm multitasking. I'm at the park with my daughter right now. But
Oh, I
yeah, I
got you.
was asking about the daily.
Yeah, she wants to know what is your average daily rate. So that's another great question to ask. Go ahead. I'll let.
So for the four bed, normally I have that at it's about 350 per night, 350 to four. The five bed may is at, let's see, I think 4 to 450 on average, but the Price Labs helps adjust those rates when we have certain things going on. I mean, I've got one booking in December that I believe is at like $900, and they booked it for a day. So they're there during the holidays, I believe. It must be during the holidays, and it just really varies. But yeah, the ADR right now, that's what it's running. And for the nine bed, I think it's about 600. Yeah, about 600.
Does anybody else want to add on about the ADR?
And that kind of goes back to the original one. I mean, it depends. You're always just
It
always going to
depends.
fluctuate. You're going to have these tools that we have that's going to price it because you never know. It might be a concert coming to your area, so you are going
Hmm.
to max out your rents. So those don't get caught up in the weeds of and a great question, Shamir. I'm not saying it's a bad question, but don't get caught up in those weeds. You're gonna go by your yearly revenue because it's always going to fluctuate. So we're taught to go by our annual. Yeah, I listen to you enough, Chin, for sure. So I figured you pop out, but yeah, I'm just trying to say, don't get caught up in the weeds of those things. We have pricing models where we're going to change. You want to fluctuate. If you keep it at a regular rate, somebody and let's say like FIFA, for example, FIFA come to town, you got your regular rate because you got your average daily rate you're using that 120. When you people across the street are getting 500 a night or 1,000 a night because that is an event in town. You've got to be able to move and pivot to really maximize your income.
Hmm. Yeah, and sometimes I've seen it where it was down to, it could be like a Monday or Tuesday or something, and it could be like 150. You know, I
Mhm.
mean, it gets down there sometimes. It just really depends. And as long as someone is willing to book it, is better to get 150 than nothing that day. So, I don't. um, let that deter. So whatever is going on, and as long as I can get the booking, then we're all good.
All right. So it sounds like you guys are using more software technology to help better price things as opposed to
Hmm.
just yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You set your base rate, but those systems help
Hmm.
determine what the market is doing right now, and then it adjusts it accordingly. So it can go up, it can go down. So I mean, like I said, it can go from 100 and it can go up to 500, 600 one day. You just never know.
Cool.
Does that make sense, Shamira? I think that makes sense, everybody? Okay. Make sure.
All right. Um, let's see. I'm scrolling down. I'm not really seeing that many questions. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Gail. Oh, and she got her camera on too. Let's go, Gail. It's on you.
Hey, Lorraine. Hey,
Hey,
Jason.
Gail.
All right. Congratulations on your strategy of arbitrage. Um, I do have I have three rentals now, and I love the stories that I get from the people who stay in my place and connecting with them. And um, I have been fortunate to have you ever, I have furnished long term rentals now because of construction workers that came to work on hail. And so that's another, possibility for if your short term rental, you know, is so nice, they want to stay there for a year
Nice.
or more. So that's what we've been doing here in Killeen. I have one in Brenham, Texas that we just came online. So we're getting it up in the marketing aspects. But my
Awesome.
question for you is how long have you been doing the short term rental?
This is my second month into this,
It's her
That
first
into this
deal.
project right here.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, this is my
wonderful.
second month into it. Yeah, and
It's
I'm
her
still,
first deal. This is
yeah,
her
this is my
first
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 deal.
one.
deal. First
First
Yeah,
deal.
deal.
so I'm still working on getting things together. I don't have it all together. I'm still learning a lot. I'm still learning a lot. I've come across some hurdles along the way, but I'm in it now, and I'm just gonna, keep it moving.
All right. Congratulations again. Thanks for
Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to ask you the question that she really put in the chat. What she said was, do you have a max on your AC bill and then the renter pays the overage? And I think that's a
Ooh,
good question. I didn't want that one to
great
pass by.
question.
That's a very good
Oh
question.
no, I don't have anything like that. No, I don't. So, yeah, I didn't even think about anything like that. So no, I do not. And
So
so
tell
right
us more
now,
about that, Gail.
yeah, tell me about that.
Help us out, Gail. Talk more about that. Can she hear us?
Yeah, she can come off mute. She can come off. Let's see. I'll ask her.
Thank you,
You got it.
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah, so when I began to have the furnished long term rental,
Hmm.
um, sometimes the bill was, I mean, even with the short term renters, the bill was like $300 to $400. And I said, I got to squash this somehow. So I decided that when I was going to have the long term contractor in there, that I would put a cap on the amount of electricity that I would pay. And then I would bill them because it wasn't in Airbnb, it was off, Airbnb was my own platform. So I would bill them for the amount of electricity over $250 or 200.
But this is for your long-term renter, though, not your
Yes, correct,
short-term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
correct.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
just,
that makes sense.
a future strategy for you.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Got it. Got it. Okay. Mr. Trevor, and he's got his camera on too. Trevor's moving through. Trev, can you talk while you drive?
My God, Trev. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I can talk while I
Always
drive.
moving.
All
What's
right,
going
you
on,
had a
Kev?
question. Damn, I just lost it.
No, it's
What
cool.
was?
My question was,
Yeah.
one of the things that I've struggled, I haven't figured out the strategy yet is how do you get over a $20,000 credit card? How did you build up to that? Like, what was the strategy?
Ooh.
For me, like I had mentioned, I had to first work on my personal. Once I worked on my personal, then I started working on the business credit side of things. And once I was able to, and there is some steps that Eric talks about all the time where you have to, build
Who's
your
Eric?
your yeah, you have to build all of that. And once you get your D&B number and you get all these SIC codes and all this other stuff, it really helped me along. And then I've got with Chin's guy KB, who helped me apply for some of the credit cards. So he helped me get those cards, and it was great. I didn't expect to get that much, but I did, and I was just so excited. But I was very cautious because I wanted to make sure that I used that money responsibly. So it was also be able to pull some of that stuff that I was spending on my personal credit, move that stuff over to my business cards, and just trying to continue to build and build. And so
Sound,
that
Right.
helped me out a lot.
sounds
Okay.
like you leverage relationships within this community.
Yes, I
Exactly.
did. Yes, I did. Yes, I
You gotta
did.
be
Yeah.
around people who could point you in the right direction. Oh my goodness. Isn't this community nice?
And I would add to the cap. I have my one single family in Columbus, Georgia, which is a military town. I've been
Mm.
told several times, even by my cleaners, that I should probably do Airbnb, which it is set up fully furnished. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, doing rent by the room, $800 per room, all four rooms rented out at the moment. Um, and I do the same thing with the cap, but I do it on electrical, water, just utilities overall, 350 a month. Anything over 350 a month, I divide it amongst everybody, and I bill them for it. I haven't had to bill them for it, but
Cool. All right. So
Hmm.
he's basically saying the same thing Gail alluded to earlier.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm gonna have to keep that in my back pocket for sure.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Shinadu would like to know how was it working with him knowing he likes to move freaking fast?
Yeah, this was a quick move. I mean, it was quick because we had to yeah, he needs you to be ready. So, gave me a chance to kind of run the numbers and do all of that. And you kind of have to be ready to make the move. Of course, I had 1,000 questions. I had 1,000 questions, but he was patient. He answered them all, and then he was there to help along the way. So even if I did have issues or questions, he was always there. So yeah, no, it was fine because it kind of pushed me. Because the longer you have to think about it and sit on it, and you talk yourself out of it sometimes. And sometimes you just need to be able to look at it, know that it's a good deal, and move. And so that's what kind of happened here.
Hey, I got a question on that. How many times, or was it any time at one point where you asked him a question and he didn't tell you? He told you to go to the training. Did he do that
Oh
for you
shoot, plenty of times. It was
anytime?
sometimes, yeah. He sometimes he won't give you the direct answer. He'll tell you where to go and get it, or sometimes he doesn't respond right away. So he makes you think, well, sit on it for a minute, and then as you continue to look and search, sometimes I find it myself, and then if I still can't find it, then I'll just reach out to him like, look, I couldn't find it. I need your help. So he was always there to help.
Cool. And right on cue, because the next question is yours, Jerry.
Oh, my question was how much was the nightly thing? How much are
Mm-hmm.
you do you do a one night rental?
I do. I do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I thought about changing that to be honest, because I mean, I got to make sure that it's enough that's going to cover at least my cleaning, because, I prefer the longer stays, because that cleaning bill, can add up. If I've got, 5 different people in there, 5 different days, and, instead of me just dealing with the, one stay and then someone just cleaning that. But somebody have to go in there and clean every day. That's a charge that I have to take care of. So I prefer that. But yes, sometimes those 1 day stays, just extra money that just comes in that you wasn't expecting. And it could fall in those in between times, like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. Then normally no one will book. So, why not let them stay?
So I guess the follow up is, so you do keep I guess the instant booking open.
I do. I do. At first, when I first started, though, I didn't. I didn't have it open because I wanted to make sure that I had everything ready, and I wanted to see what was coming through because I was in the process of merging some of his stuff over to mine, and I didn't want the conflict. I wanted to make sure it was indeed open and not someone that was already booked. So, but then he forced me. He's like, nope, open it up, and then
Okay, I was gonna
I
say,
did, and so
did he
yeah.
intentionally tell you to open that up, or
Oh
was it
yeah,
a
yeah. And
decision
at
you
some
made?
point, I was going to be ready to open it up, because I didn't want to have to deal with it every day, going in there trying to look to see who's requesting what. So yeah, eventually, yes, definitely you want to have the instant book open. I don't have it yet on my verbal, I believe. I'm still working on some stuff with that, but yeah, definitely have instant book. It saves you a lot of time.
Cool. All right. And y'all know Mark McDowell got a money question. And his question is actually very similar to the next one, which is from Kim. So Mark asks, what were your OPM, other people money, startup sources? And then Kim asks, sometimes investors have a hard time finding funding for the investment deals. How did you find the funds for your STR venture? Was it private money? So those two questions kind of go together. So I guess, you know, it's on you.
Well, as far as this particular deal, I was looking at a private lender. I was thinking about working with my brother on this deal, and I showed him the details and all of that, and he was, him and Han and all that. At some point, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to move. I can't wait on you to decide if this is something that you want to do. So I had the funds to do it, so I did it myself.
Yes,
Not,
I
I
did it
just did it myself.
myself. I love that
Yeah, I
answer.
mean, yeah,
Forget waiting
because
for people.
I'm not waiting for people, and it's not like eventually down the line I couldn't bring him in if I wanted to, accelerate this payoff and just have a lower payment. I could do that too, but at this point in time, I didn't need it at this point.
I love it. I love it. I did it myself. Get it done money. Just get it done. I
Just get
love
it done.
it. Can't be
Yeah.
waiting for these people, man. The people will leave you where you standing, man, doing nothing, waiting for other people. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And now that I'm in the trenches, he's like, "Oh man, now I should have been on it." I'm like,
Then they want to
"I
come when you
told you."
do something.
Yeah, yeah,
Always. The
yes.
people. All right. Since we ain't, hold on, I got somebody. Is she still here? My girl Jackie. Jackie, we don't see you that often, so I'm bringing you out. Jackie, come on up to the stage. Jackie, can you talk?
Go, yes, I can.
There she is. Talk to us, Jackie.
Jackie.
We wait.
Hi.
Hey, we waiting
Hey.
on you, girl.
Wait, what was my question?
I think you
Hold
asked
on.
a
I'll
couple.
go back.
So one of them is about the seasons. Do you remember?
I remember. But anyways, I was considering, congratulations, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Have you been able to determine your highs as well as your low seasons as yet? I forgot where you were. Somewhere in Ohio?
I'm in Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah. And right now, I seem to be hitting the high. Um, Between May June is looking pretty good. July and August is starting to pick up. I seem to be in the high season now. May, because I'm near university, Case Western Regional University, something like that. And there was a lot of weddings going on during this time. And so it's kind of picked up during that time. And then with the graduations and stuff, because that's a lot of my stays were people just going to the graduations. So the low season right now, it seems to be more of September, October, but we still have time to kind of see how that plays out because I'm not sure yet what's happening during those times.
Cool, cool, cool. Nice. I love that.
Yeah. So as long as it continuously books, it's still early for even though I do have some stuff in October and November and December, hopefully it'll just pick up at the closer it gets to it.
Cool. Um, Hey Ron, did I see it's after 8. You want to close it out and then we could just finish the questions for those? Or how
Sure.
you want to do it?
Sure, we could do that.
Yeah.
Sure, we could do that. Listen, I'm just ecstatic by this story. The story is just amazing to me for a lot of different reasons. Seeing Lorraine's progress, seeing Chin's progress, seeing Chin leading people and bringing these leads to the community has been amazing. Anyway, you can follow us on all our social media platforms. We are real people, we're people you can connect with in our community here. And we have some other trainings. So if you want to be involved, tomorrow we have a call with sellers with Big Mark tomorrow at 7 p.m. We have a real estate study group session hosted by our very own Jerry at 7 p.m. on Friday. And then we have a live real estate training, not 7 p.m. That's actually 11:30 a.m. If you want to know about our systems that we use, one of our systems we use, that is on Sunday, 11:30 a.m., not p.m. So that's it. And we can go back to the regular scheduled program.
All right. So yeah, for those have I know it's getting kind of late, so we just like to show people what we got coming up, in case you gotta go. But we're not going anywhere, right? We're still here. So we will continue through the questions. If people have more, just throw them in the chat. So the question I have next was okay. So people keep asking. So again, Cleveland, Ohio, is the location of the properties. Eric Count Shamira, yes, you are correct. That is who Eric was. I know she keeps saying Eric. People are like, who the hell is Eric? Yes, Eric Count. Let's see. Thanks for the shout out, Kim. Let's see. Okay, LaShawn wants to know, is there anything you would have done differently?
As far as this deal here, probably if I had to say, there were some things that I did out of step that kind of messed me up a little bit. But you adjust and you correct and you move forward. So when I was trying to transfer some of the listings that he had on the books already to my listing, I was quoting them the wrong numbers. And I was like, oh, snap. So I had to go back and request that money back. And that kind of messed me up because I'm like, I don't want this to be the first impression of me. Like, what is she doing? She's looking at the wrong numbers or whatever. And the process, I didn't quite follow the process the way that Chin had told me. So I learned from it and I knew. So going forward, I know what to do and how to transfer it over properly. So the numbers were off a little bit. I was looking at something different. And, but other than that, it's just taking it step by step and not trying to rush it.
I like it. All right. Maribel, can you speak? Let us know if you can come on off a chat. Come off a mute and chat with us. And to ask your question. Can you talk? Can you talk, Maribel? No? Give you a couple seconds to find the unmute. I'm throwing it up on the screen. And Maribel can't speak. All right, I'll ask for Maribel. She says, do you intend on blocking the dates and setting up a minimum daily rate for the high seasons?
A minimum daily rate for the high seasons. I hadn't thought about that, but as long as, well, as the rates that I have set, I think are pretty decent already. And if I continue to use the price labs and let them adjust the rates for me as needed, I think I'm okay. I didn't start out with them pretty low, so the rates that I have in there, I think are good to go with as they are right now. And then if the season adjusts or if the market adjusts, they'll take care of the adjustment for me. So I don't plan on keep going in there and changing the numbers. I don't do that.
Cool. Miss Prophet, come on out. Can you talk? You know I gotta call on you with a name like that. Patricia, where are you?
Okay.
There she is.
Sorry. Hello, everybody.
What's
Congratulations,
up?
Lorraine.
Thank you.
So my question was about the cleaning costs. I just wanted to know what was your cleaning cost?
My cleaners charge me $150 per unit. If they have to do the duplex, both units at the same time, then it's $320.
So if you have it for instant booking, so it will be $150 per night or guest. I mean,
Oh,
per
okay. You're talking about within the
per
system.
cleaning.
Well, within the system, that's what I pay my cleaners. But in the system, we upcharge a little bit, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we upcharge that a little bit for the guests to pay. So we make
Okay.
sure that that's covered along with everything else. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Oh,
did hear you say that you use Price Lab. Do you use other automated systems like to help with your messages unless you do it yourself?
Oh
Like
God, no.
guesting.
Oh God, no. I'm on Hospitable right now. I booked a demo with Sweet Ops. It's been canceled twice, so I haven't had a chance to look into that one, but I'm looking into that one as well. So yeah, I use Hospitable right now for my messaging.
Okay, great.
there we go.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Oh, Jackie's got another one. She said, how were you able to find your cleaners, handyman? What platform, if any, did you use, or have you reasons to get rid of anyone yet? So basically, what's your cleaners? How did you find them?
Well, I was using the existing cleaners that he had already had in place. Um, they were already there. They were familiar with the property. The maintenance guy is actually the property manager for the landlord. So sometimes he comes by, but then I was running into issues with him because he wasn't being very responsive at some points, and I needed something done. So I went to Thumbtack and found someone to come out when I needed my bed set up. And I just found someone on Thumbtack, and he came out, fixed the bed and some other things, and that was it. Yeah, so just having him as a backup was really good because sometimes the other guy, he has his own things going on, and he really works for the owner and not for me. And I needed someone that I can get that will be there for me.
Cool. All right, Ms. LaShawn, it's on you. Come on out.
Hey, Lorraine, congratulations, Lady
Sean,
Boss.
hey lady.
So glad you are still part of this community. How do you handle guest damages?
Oh my God. Well, I did have an incident where one guest had trashed my place. I ain't gonna lie. I was devastated. Uh, it hurt me really bad. And I took it personally. I'm like, what? What are you doing? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what was happening. So I'm in the process now of filing my claim with Airbnb. And you just submit your claim, what was damaged, what I had to pay for to get repaired, things like that. And so I'm still working with them on getting compensation for that. So it wasn't all smooth sailing. I have had an incident. So yeah, that's just part of the game, I guess you have to deal with. But yeah, I was hurt. I was hurt. I was a couple of weeks in. I was hurt, Jay. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So I was just like, oh no. So yeah, it kind of it bummed me out for a little bit.
That
But
means
I
you
didn't
have
let that deter
arrived.
me. Yeah.
And I'm glad that you didn't give up. You still kicking and going forward. So that is
Uh,
good.
That
oh
Congrats.
yeah. Oh
means
yeah.
that's
For
when you
sure.
know
I wasn't
you're in the
gonna let that deter
game. That's when you know you are in
me.
the freaking game. It's game time. I love
Yes,
it.
yes.
Everyone want to talk about the
Yeah.
good stuff, but nah,
Right.
when it goes wrong, that's when you know you in the game. Like, okay, how do I deal with this? So
Yes, yes.
that's where the growth happens. Mark asked about the customer question. She said hospitable. She's on right now, so we answered that.
Mhm.
So Shamir said, have you made other revenue models for those slower seasons?
Not yet. 'Cause I'm not quite there yet. But um, I haven't gotten to that point. So right now, I'm just going off of what is working for me, and then as I look and monitor it a little bit in another month or so, if I have to make some adjustments, I will.
Yeah, talk
And
to
then, of
Chin.
course,
He'll
with this
help you.
kind of cash, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Talk to Chin. He'll help you.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then just trying to be prepared, putting money to the side for that too, just to making sure I can cover everything.
Cool. Alan wants to know, since he came in late, he didn't hear how it was acquired, so he wants to know, damn, how long did it take you to get this, both of them up and running from start to finish? Like how long? How many months did it take for that to
It did
happen?
not take months. It did not take months because I had acquired it from an existing host. So I bought the business from him, and whatever he already had it furnished. It was always already up and running. I just needed to take over. So the main transition was just getting everything switched over from him to me. So it
And
didn't
he
take
already
me.
had
It took me a couple
bookings.
of weeks. Yeah, it
And
took me
he
a
already
couple of weeks.
had bookings that you literally took over that he already had booked in the future. So it
Yes.
was a sweet transition. She got it operational already. She literally just took over the business. All right, I think that's the end. Did I miss anyone's question? If I missed your question, please come on off of mute and ask it. If I did, I apologize. Or if you can't talk, throw it in the chat. It's 8:25. We'll give y'all a couple more minutes. So if you got another question, come on out.
Why you raising your hand? Come on up. Oh, you got it unmuted. Let's see. There you go.
No, they gotta mute themselves.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he said he turned it off.
Yeah, they gotta mute
Mike.
themselves.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so my question is, what did you say to the landlord that he felt comfortable with you taking it over for him?
Ooh.
Actually,
If
that
the
wasn't the discussion that I had. It was the existing host had to have that discussion with the landlord because that's who the lease was under. So they were having the discussion about, allowing him to sublet it to me. I have not met him yet. I have not even talked to him yet. So any discussions about him subletting was between them two.
She
right.
still hasn't even spoke to the guy.
But everything
Or
is in
seen the
writing.
property either.
That's a key point to put out as well.
What, Jim?
Say it again, Chin.
I was saying like I know you said that you haven't spoken to the landlord. It was between the existing host and the landlord. But I also wanted to point out that everything is also in writing. That secures Lorraine's position that she can even execute this strategy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was going to ask Lorraine, and congratulations, by the way, Lorraine.
Thank you.
I
can't
wanted
say
to
so.
ask you why did the landlord, why did he want to get out of the short-term rental business? Was he having some challenges that he spoke to you about?
Well, he didn't mention any challenges. I think the thing was for him is because he still has units in Cleveland. I think what he was looking to do was move up to larger properties, and he just needed to offload some. And I think that was my understanding. Chen could probably tell you a little bit more, but that was my gist of it, is that he was just ready to move on from these and go into bigger properties.
Oh, okay. And you're leasing these properties from him?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well, when you say
You're
leasing them
welcome.
from him, who is him? Who's the him you're referring to?
I'm speaking of the owner or the landlord of the property.
The owner of the landlord?
No, I'm either. Well, let me ask it again. Is she leasing it from a landlord, or is she subleasing it from someone else?
Right. That's the right question.
Yeah, I'm subleasing it from someone else.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good question. That's the question. Yes. All right. Any other questions?
I had a question. Lorraine, congratulations, especially as this is your first deal. A double whammy is nice, nice, nice. Happy
Thank
for
you.
you. And I wanted
Thank
to
you.
know the terms of taking over the business. Like, what was that financial and term arrangement between you and the guy that you bought the business from?
Well, what we agreed to was that I would have access to both of those units for the 12 months. I would pay him a down payment, and then, spread. We negotiated 2 extra payments 2 months later. In our example that we showed, though, we looked at it from how we can pay that off within the 12 months. Once I'm able to, take over the listings that he had on the books, then he's totally out of the picture. He doesn't want to have anything else to do with the unit. So it's just me, just getting everything switched over, all of the listings, all of the units, and everything like that. And he's hands off. He's moving on to something bigger and better. So I'll be in this with him for the year until I can negotiate another year or so with the landlord.
Cool. I like it. Mark, we're not going into all of those questions here. We're talking about the property here, right? We don't have to do all of that. All right, Mark? This guy always want to know how much money somebody made. This guy's crazy. Any last questions besides that one?
Hey, my last question for you, Lorraine, is are you looking more at for as your niche buying situations that's already together now, more so than you going out and looking to do the whole furnishing thing? You want to skip that process and go.
I actually, if I could find another one like this, I would skip that whole process if I could. And just if someone's ready to get rid of their units. But again, you still want to still do your due diligence because you want to make sure that it's still a good deal, right? That it's still gonna make money. And but it did help accelerate this for me because I didn't have to wait to get it all furnished, and especially we're talking about 9 beds, trying to get all that going, and ordering stuff and getting it in there. And if I can find another one that's already set up and running, yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Y'all heard it. There's a wholesale opportunity, people. My wholesaler's on the line. She's looking for it, man. Wholesale the deal to her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Find it.
lastly for
Wholesale
Chin,
it.
when you put another one in there, bro, Send it to me first, bro. Ah.
Like he said, he doesn't do favorites. So if you're
Keep
in
your
there,
notifications on.
you're right.
Keep your notifications on for
Turn your
sure.
notifications
Right,
on,
right.
and you
You
be
gotta
all
move quick
right.
with Chin. Yeah, you gotta move quick with
You
Chin.
got to move fast. Chin does not play.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
All right. That's it, y'all. All right, Lorraine, congratulations on your first one down and many more to come.
What?
Yes.
Proud
Thank
of
you
you.
guys. Yes.
Proud of
Thank you
you.
guys for everything.
You
Thank
got it.
you.
All right, y'all. And y'all know with STR Nation tomorrow evening at this time, Chin will be training. So if you want to be a part of that, you better get with whoever invited you, and you can get more information about that being a part of that. All right. So that's all we have. Ron, any closing words? Chin, Jerry.
Nah, I'm just super excited for. I love the numbers. It's a solid unit. It looks great. Wait, well done, Lorraine, for taking action. Like a lot of people would have hemmed and hawed and kind of thought about it, like I don't know. It was a lot to take on, but you took it, and I try applaud you for taking that leap. That's a big leap. So
It was a big
that's to be
leap.
commended. That's to
Yes.
be commended. That's to be commended. Everyone's like, oh, maybe. They look for they get the lead and then they hem and hard. And I'm sure Chen sees it all the time. And you took action on it. So congratulations. Really proud of you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Do it
you.
scared. Do it scared, my sister. Do it scared.
Yes.
Do it
Yeah, I was
nervous.
indeed.
Just do it.
Hey, shout out to
Do
the
Just
it
do
first
all.
it.
timers.
Be like
Shout out to
Mike.
the
Just
first
do
timers
it.
that hung out. Oh, they stayed on. Got a
Yeah.
couple of first timers.
Shout
All
out to the
right.
first timers. Yeah, people still on, right? Put a one if you're still here. Put a one if you're still here first time. Are you still hanging tough with us?
Hanging
No,
tough.
Gail's her first time hanging out with us. She's hanging tough for sure.
Hanging out. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I'm
Keelan
not
is
hanging
hanging
out.
out with us
Have a
still.
good one.
Have a good one, guys. Michael as well. Michael, good to see you. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Bye,
You're
everyone.
welcome. No.